Hey crew, welcome back to another episode of the Skipper Report. On this episode, I sit down and talk with Erik Fey of the Fey Brothers and Telemarkdown.com. And he shares his backstory, getting into telemark skiing way back, leather boots, straight skinny skis, and how he's progressed through all that into modern equipment and starting retail space at Telemarkdown, and recently, in the last few years, building skis. Anyways, so grab yourself a beverage, sit back, put your feet up, and enjoy this interview with Erik Fey here on the Skippy Report.
Hey Keith,
Erik, how are you?
how are you? Let me just turn up my volume here. I don't do this very much.
You know what? This is the only time I do this.
All right, well you've got an official mic and everything. It looks good.
I was very fortunate. I have a wonderful wife who did her research. And back in the day, the listeners have heard this a long time ago. I'd have interesting conversations with people and thought, geez, this would make great podcast topics. So she looked into all the equipment, and we have a music store that's a chain nearby. And she went in and said to the guy, I want to get equipment for my husband to do a podcast, and this is what I'm thinking. He goes, yep, you've done your research. And so he said, this is how much it was. And she's like, oh, that's a little expensive. So he said, why don't you just do what musicians do and rent it until he thinks that he really wants to keep doing this. So I think I rented it for a month and a half, and I was like, yeah, this is cool. I'll buy it. And so that was my Christmas present one year.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah. So, and it's a full setup. I have monitor, speakers, and that. I don't like working through headphones when I'm listening to stuff. So I just use the headphones during the interview, so it cuts out any distractions and that sort of stuff for me. So.
Right.
Yeah, so welcome to the Skippy Report. And why don't you inform the people who you are on this episode?
I'm Erik Fey, owner of Telemarkdown, Fey Brothers, and Summit Cone Skis and Crispy US for Telly.
Yes.
And leather ski boots, and that's about it. Pretty much just dedicated Telly.
And I'm going to hypothesize that's not the only gig that you do.
No, it's not. It is a full-time winter gig, though.
Oh, is it? That's great.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Really starts in September, and we start rolling in September. I bring Nigel in to the shop, and he starts doing what he does, drilling skis, and we're getting ready for the season. So it starts in September, it kind of ends in April.
Right.
It's nice when it's over, to be honest with you. I love it when it starts, but I couldn't do it year round.
Right.
I couldn't do retail year round. That is a total burnout.
Yes.
Occupation. I think retail I just couldn't do it.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. Now, what do you do when you're not doing Telemarkdown stuff?
So so my brother and I have a few college degrees between us, but he went from being he was a newspaper editor.
Oh, cool.
When we got into this back in the mid 90s, and at that point I just stopped teaching.
Okay.
I was teaching for a very short period after I graduated, and
may I ask what you taught?
Well, I was certified English.
Okay.
And then, but I taught, in middle school, I taught everything.
Right.
So
Yep.
I had to teach everything. So.
Well, that's what we have in common. I was a middle school teacher also.
Oh, good for you. I appreciate that. Thanks.
Yeah.
What did you teach?
I always, when people ask me that question, I always like to be a smart ass and go, kids.
Yeah.
But I started my career teaching the two best subjects there are in school, shop and phys ed.
Oh, absolutely. That's what I should have been teaching.
Yeah, because I was kind of thinking you might say, oh, yeah, I'm a carpenter in the off season.
Oh, well, yeah, that's what so when Marty and I got into this, really kind of started in '96. At that point, I'd done a lot of restaurant work too, working my way through college and everything. And
Right.
Once we got into the telly thing, I could see, oh, I'm getting sucked into this. I could feel it happening. So I had to find a summer gig, and a guy I met in Vermont said, "Hey, you want to help me paint a house?"
Right.
I'm like, "Well, shit, I'm pretty athletic. I think I can handle the climbing ladders and stuff." So I figured that out, and that's what I started doing. So in the summer, I started painting houses, and it worked out really well because the seasons just go
Right.
hand in hand. Really, you
Yes.
start painting outside. First of all, I love being outside.
Right.
I'm actually outside way more in the summer when I'm working than
Right.
I am in the winter when I'm working, because most of the time I'm in the shop,
Right.
putting boots on people's feet and helping other people go ski rather than skiing myself.
Yes.
So I have a painting crew. I have 9 guys that work for me in the
Wow.
summer. And most of them are college. Well, yeah, it's kind of actually all ages now. I have a few college guys. One guy who's 41, and he started for me in college. He's got another job, work at UPS.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just an array of different dudes. It's fun though. It's nice, and it keeps me young too. I'm out there, hustling and climbing on roofs, and
Right.
in the Northeast heat. The summer's hot here,
Yeah, we had to crank on the aircon today for the first time because the humidity just blew right in today.
Same here, man. I'm sorry if you can't hear me, Greg, because I am sitting next to a window unit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it was crazy. But no, that's cool that you've got, like, when you're telly stuff or ski industry or something like that, seasonal, you've got to have some other gig.
you
Keep yourself
absolutely
busy.
do, yeah. Yep.
And kudos to you for getting up on roofs and stuff, because I'm tired, I'm beat up, and I was like, all right, if you want me to work for you, you're going to pay me $200 an hour. Nobody hires me.
200 bills an hour is pretty good. Yeah, if you can get it.
Yeah, except I do have one friend. I'm in the middle of a job, and we had some work to do, and he rented kind of like one of those articulating bucket truck vehicles that's a trailer. And I told him, I'd asked him, I said, where's the harness? Oh, they didn't give me one. I said, well, where are your harnesses? At home, but you'll be okay, because he's afraid of heights, right? I'm the guy up in the bucket.
Nice.
I was like, oh, that first day being up there without a harness, I came home and I was having dinner, and I could just feel the tension leaving the center of my shoulders. And so I messaged him the next morning. I said, you better bring your freaking harnesses. And I felt much better.
Yeah, without a doubt. I have a harness in my truck, which doubles as my demo van in the winter.
Right.
Too. Just so I just use the same. I have 2 vans, but yeah, I sometimes I wear the harness and sometimes I don't when I'm up in the bucket.
Oh, well, yeah. So you know what? Sometimes harnesses, especially for people like us, we didn't grow up using harnesses.
No, or helmets.
Yeah. So there's only been a few times that I have worn a harness. One time I probably should have, because I did fall off the roof.
Oh,
and, yeah.
On a roof, I could see that. Sure.
Yeah. So, but yeah. Anyway, so that's cool. So, give us a little history of your exposure to telemark skiing.
So it really started in the 80s. My brother my brother took me skiing for the first time, and we didn't come. Our family wasn't wealthy. We didn't, and skiing even back then was like, oh man, you have $20 to go skiing,
right? That's like, my family's the same.
Yeah, so it was like, okay, my brother. I didn't get to start skiing until I was about 9 or 10.
Right.
But once I did, it bit me big time.
Right.
So my brother was kind of a, he had skied more than I had growing up, and
you're skiing in New Hampshire, like?
this was actually, we grew up in Connecticut, so we went over to Ski Sundown in Connecticut, which
Okay.
was right by where we grew up,
Okay.
about 25 minutes from where we grew up. And yeah, it was my first day out there, and I just remember thinking, I am into this, man. Like nothing I've ever done before. And so my mom just, she anteed up and, you know, started doing the ski club and all that other stuff and got into it.
Right.
And my brother was off in college. He's much older than me. He's 10 years old, 11 years older than me. So, and then all of a sudden he came back and went skiing with me, and I was way better than he was because I'd actually taken lessons, and, you know,
Right.
so it got him back into it. He's like, oh, this is something I can do with my little brother. And so the first time I got introduced to Telly, and of course I knew about it. My uncle lives in Vermont. He was very into backcountry skiing, leather boots, skinny skis. And he talked about that all the time. So I'm like, man, it looks like a lot of work.
Right.
Looks like I'm good at alpine ski. I don't know if I could do that. So Marty bought me a set of Carhu XCDs.
Yep.
In 1987 with a pair of leather crispy boots.
Yep.
And some 3-pins.
Right.
Because we're going out in the woods to ski now.
Right.
It's all we're gonna get even here. So, and that's how it started. So that was it. And that was 1987, and we had some adventures. You know, a lot of like near death experiences. Like, it's getting dark and it's friggin' 10 below, and
Right.
Where are we going?
Yes.
Like, I don't know where we are.
That's right.
Like, every time we went out, it was like that.
Yeah.
Every friggin' time. So, whether it was with my uncle, it was like, you know, getting in, it was dark and freezing cold. And like, oh my God, we just dodged another bullet.
Yeah, it sounds like he's my buddy Ernie. You'll be okay. You'll be okay.
Yeah,
Trust me.
yeah.
We'll come back to the car.
He knew about a bunch of stuff on the back. Like at that time, not many people knew about the Teardrop Trail. It was hardly ever skied.
Right.
So we'd be like, we're going to do the Teardrop Trail, or we're going off the backside of Bolton, because my uncle lived on the backside of Bolton. So you'd ski back down to the dirt roads down there. But, you know, there's a lot of mistakes you can make out in the woods, especially when it's getting dark.
Exactly.
But it was exciting. And I think that was the thing, you know, for me, and I think why a lot of people get into Telly now is Alpine has a ceiling, and a fun ceiling, right? And you reach it, and then you're either going 100 miles an hour to get that high that you used to get, you know, just going skiing, or you got to be in bumps or, you know, in the park or something, you know,
Right.
so you're just pushing just to get, it's like being a junkie, you know, you're always trying to get that
dopamine fix.
Right. Telly, from my experience, doesn't have that. You never ever get bored Telly.
No.
Like I've been doing it for years. I never get bored doing it. I think even the guys I know that have been doing it longer than me, they say the same thing. You never get bored.
No.
It's impossible.
I can probably count on one hand how many outstanding runs I've had where I get to the bottom and go, oh shit, that was really good.
Yeah.
You know, like, we're always searching for those turns, right? It's like a surfer. They're always searching for that wave, right?
Right. Yep. An elusive wave. Yeah. It's just, it's a great way to ski. It makes skiing challenging too. And I think for me, from what I've seen just nationally, you know, I've lived out in Utah for a little bit. My son went to school out there. I feel like out there, AT still kind of reigns a little bit because the mountains are big.
Yeah.
Right? You don't get bored skiing at Alta.
Right.
You know, if you go to Cratchit Mountain in New Hampshire and try to alpine that for a season, you're going to be pretty bored by mid-December.
Yep.
So you need to mix it up. And that's what I tell people that come into the shop. And sometimes I get people come into the shop and they're like, well, you know, I'm thinking about trying this Telly. And I'll tell them, I said, listen, you're already in and you don't even know it.
Right.
Yes. You're already in, man.
Yeah.
It's, you're already telling yourself, this is what I need.
Right.
And it's true. And I said, you'll never be bored skiing again if you get into Telly.
That's so cool that you say that, because I think out of all my guests, nobody's ever said about that. You'll never be bored. You know, there's not that ceiling.
Yep.
Like you said, that Alpine has, unless you're trucking 200 miles an hour.
Right. And that's where I got too with my Alpine stuff. I loved Alpine skiing. And I got to a point in the early 90s when I went out to Utah to live for a year with a buddy of mine. Luckily, a friend in Maine that I met that fall, she had a snowboard. She's like, "Take this with you. Take this snowboard with you." And I'm like, "I'm a skier. I'm gonna."
Yeah.
My couple of my buddies who were snowboarding said, "Hey, you got to try this, Fey. You're gonna dig this because I like surfing and everything." So yeah, I got hooked on snowboarding because it was like climbing the ladder again.
Right.
That was the beautiful thing about learning again.
Yes.
And snowboarding gave me that, and it really led us, Marty and I, to where we are.
Right.
Because we ended up building boards and everything. So, but yeah, so snowboarding gave me that for about 5 years.
Right.
And I topped out on snowboarding too.
Right.
And there was a ceiling there.
Right.
And it started to get flat, like Alpine did for me. And that's happened with a few other people I've met too. They're like, yeah, I just topped out on both of those sports, and snowboarding numbers are going way down.
Oh, they are. I was just contemplating making that comment, so I'm glad that you made it, because yeah, my wife and I travel around quite a bit skiing, and we don't see the snowboard numbers that we saw 15 years ago.
Not at all. Not even close.
Yeah.
I taught snowboarding at Killington in the mid 90s, and man, I will tell you, that room was full. Like, we go in there to teach lessons, and we had some stellar riders too. Those guys, we just every day packed lessons.
Right.
Every lesson was packed,
Wow.
especially weekends. But now it's just, I think kids are, twin tip skis really.
Yeah.
Actually, snowboarding saved Alpine really.
Yeah.
With the shape ski and everything.
Yes.
That was a huge innovation. But the problem is the big companies, Atomic, Fisher, everybody, all the Euro companies,
Yeah.
they can't get out of their own way.
Right.
So they're making straight skinny skis until the mid 90s.
Yes.
And we had people on the moon. How come they didn't figure this out?
Right.
In the 70s? I feel like Olin out of Connecticut had the right idea.
Right.
And then Olin went under in the early 90s. They tried to be like everybody else. Olin should have just gone off and started making these wider twin tip skis like the Mark IV and everything that they had going on. And it was, they were on the right track.
Right.
But they got sucked into, I don't know, maybe they got bought out, and the oven company is all of a sudden making skis.
Yes.
And like, well, no, you need to be more like, K2. And so it's an interesting business.
It is.
And everything innovative in any skiing, snowboarding, whatever starts in a garage.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know there's a guy, a local guy in Ellicottville. He's always tinkering with bindings. It's crazy, He'll come up with some idea, and a couple of years later, it looks like the TTS system that he's ahead, but he's just doing it on his own, right? And then good friends of mine, they developed a step-in releasable binding, and the first time I saw it, I was like, Wolfgang, are those bomber bishops? And I was like, he goes, well, sort of, kind of not, but yeah. And they're engineers and tool and die makers and that sort of stuff.
Oh,
and
nice.
yeah, so they had designed their own binding, and I was like, can we buy them? He goes, well, we haven't figured it out yet. So I guess I must have thought about a GoFundMe way before GoFundMe. I was like, okay, how much do you think they'll sell for? He goes, $400. I said, I'll give you $400, and then you just give me a binding when it's ready. He goes, no, I don't want to do that yet. But unfortunately, he was afraid of
litigation, maybe.
No, people copying his stuff.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Yeah, so he was trying to source different makers of all different parts and that, and then bring them back to assemble in Canada. And I think it just got like too wieldy to handle. So there's only a handful of those bindings. I'm kind of hoping maybe in the future I'll maybe inherit a pair or something like that. Yeah. If you're listening, Wolfgang, don't put me in your will. However, I know his son-in-law is a wicked telemark skier, so James, his buddy James may end up with them. So.
I'll tell you, there's literally, I feel like half the guys that walk through the shop doors are engineers.
Right.
Who are telliers.
Yeah.
Like literally mostly men, but some women too.
Yes.
With that engineering, they're just fascinated by the whole thing.
Yes.
There's so many moving parts, and like, it's so interesting.
Well, I find that it's interesting that you say that, because I know like the guys in the pretty good Telemark show, they were talking about binding CJ and Adam, and you know, like when you and I'm not sure, I'm science oriented myself, and they said it's like whenever we're doing a turn and we're raising our heel, we're like really trying to rip the binding off the ski.
Yeah,
because you know we're up in the air, so you've got that torque. Then you're rolling that little toe into the hill or the big toe, so you're putting a different type of torque on the binding, right? And it's staying stuck to the ski.
Yeah, it's crazy how important. I would not want to be in the bind. I'd rather make boots than bindings, because
right,
bindings are so difficult. It's like you go on Facebook. Somebody's been skiing on a binding for 300 days. They break it. They're like posting it. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah.
Take it easy.
Yes.
Like, these bindings are working as hard as you.
Yeah.
If you get, I don't know what, 22 would say, or Majo, how many days you're actually going to get out of a binding?
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. Depends on how low you ski. The lower you ski, the more stuff you're going to break. That's for sure.
I'm glad you say that, because you know what? I see those same posts, and my buddies all up here, we all teach Telemark or have taught Telemark, and sometimes I just want to put up there, it goes, maybe you should take a lesson.
Yeah, and it's cool. Like, I think the beautiful thing about Telemark is also you get its expression. If you want to ski low,
yeah,
go for it.
But
however,
expect
you're going to spend more money.
Yeah.
So because everything you max out those bellows, you max out that spring, and then it's you tugging on those two rear screws.
Yeah.
And the ski is going to give, especially if it's a Euro ski.
Yeah.
They're gonna blow up at some point. So it's just but it's cool. You should be skiing the way you want to ski.
Exactly. And I've learned to be gentle on equipment, because at 6'6", 280 pounds.
Oh, you look really small on this screen here. You look like you're about 6 inches. Yeah, 6'6". That's a big telly skier.
Yeah. When I got my PSIA thing, instructors in Ellicottville, my friend Adele goes, I think you might be the largest Telemark instructor in the PSIA.
Probably are.
Yeah,
that's big. I had a guy come into the shop. He was over 300 pounds this year. I'm like, dude, you should just be testing gear.
Well, that's what I tell people. If you want gear tested, send it my way. Because like, I ride a Commotion bike, and they make tandems. That's what they're known for. But my bike is a single, but built with all the tandem components. So I have like 40 spoke wheels. I have tandem tubing. I thought the bike was bomb-proof, and I put a 53 tooth crank on the front, and I came across a bridge, and I was like, oh, I must have a flat. And I looked down, and I was like, what's going on? And I broke the weld right where the chain stay meets the dropout.
Oh, man.
And I was like, oh, I didn't think I could break one of these bikes. But
were you out in the sticks, or were you?
No, I was out in the road.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a touring bike.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, but you know what? Like, they have a great warranty. I just stripped it down, sent it back to them. They fixed it, painted it, and sent it back to me.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, it just I'm always like, if you want to test stuff, send it my way. I can really test it. When I got on my newer skis, which were my backups, and everybody says those are your backups? I was like, yeah, because I usually have skied on Freehill Life Switchblades, and and I love them. They're fantastic, but they're getting a little long in the tooth, right? And so I know they're going to fail at some point. So I looked at newer skis. So then when I put them on the first day, did a couple of turns as usual. That's all I need. And I was like, oh, these are nice skis. And then I spent the whole day testing them. And they're a fantastic ski. They're the Vocal M7 Mantra, I think.
Oh, yeah, the Mantra. We used to sell that ski. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they've got some Titanol. So you're an interesting specimen because you are not going to experience the same issues with a ski with Titanol that a guy 5'8", and most tele skiers are like, oh, I'm 6'1", 170. I'm like, dude, I'm 5'8", 190. Like, how do you do that?
Yes.
Like, so with you, at your size, you can ski with Titanol. Most people do not like skis with Titanol in them.
Really?
Yeah. In our experience, and that's true with, like, somebody might say, well, I have a Titanol ski for hard pack days in the East or whatever. Yeah. But at your size, for sure, like, Titanol is not an issue.
Yeah.
Because you have one point of contact on the skis. So when you throw Titanol in there, it kind of changes. It makes a ski less playful, for sure.
Yeah.
But if you're 6'6", how much did you say you weigh?
280.
Yeah, if you're 6'6", 280, Titanol's not going to be a problem for you.
Yeah.
But so we do carry a couple of stiffer skis in the shop.
Right.
And those, like, if you walked in there, I'd be like, oh, I got a couple for you.
Yeah. Yeah, see, that's because I have a hard time finding a ski, and it's not like, tele skiers, we can't test skis. Right. So it's I went back because we ran a program here in Ontario, and Vocal outfitted our fleet, and so I went with the Mantra back then. When I talked to a few people in the industry, they said, oh yeah, you should go with the Mantra, and I'm glad I did, because 2 turns in I was like, oh, this is a nice ski. And it was the same thing when I got back on the new Mantra. I skied the Kendo. I used to ski the Kendo.
Yeah, the Kendo is 88 underfoot. Yeah. The Mantra was 98 from what.
Yeah, and then now these new ones, I think they're 96, the new M7. So because they really don't make the Kendo anymore. So.
Oh, they don't.
Yeah. So it's I just went back to what I knew.
Right.
Yeah. So that's interesting having you here, because you build skis, and that sort of stuff. It's great to get your insight into that, because I've had some skis in the past and I was like, oh man, they're not working. I guess must have been my size.
Yeah, definitely. Your size, you're kind of a special case. Most, like I said, most tele skiers are definitely under 200 pounds for sure.
Yeah.
So I mean, we build skis. We played around with a lot of different glass layups and carbon and different cores. But most skiers are looking for that round flex, of course. So sometimes with a ski with Titanol in it, that tail can get too stiff and it will kick you out of your turn before you're ready to finish it out. Yeah. And that's a bummer for tele skiers, because the end part of your turn is like, it's a beautiful part of the turn, right? So if your ski's like, oh no, we're going back down and you're not ready, it kind of sucks.
Yeah. So, I don't experience any of that.
You don't. No. You don't. Because you can just say, oh yeah.
I just sit on them and go. Yeah.
You're in charge. For sure.
I do have a pair of Vocals that I am not in charge of. They were my old racing skis that I tellied on, and they've got a 29-meter radius.
Oh God. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like 2 turns down the little hills here, it's like, oh, okay, I better, it's like, ride me hard, put me away wet sort of thing.
That's a big ski. Holy smokes.
Yeah.
That's a great, like some of the racers on the play team will race on a 25-meter race ski. But still, that's pretty big. I always feel like for racing tele, to go with a slalom turn radius, like a 21, something like that.
Yeah.
I'm not super technical when it comes to racing, but my son raced on the U.S. team for, when he was in high school. little bit, and he did best on a tighter turn radius ski that was a little not as stiff. He also was a lighter weight kid, probably 140, 145 pounds. So,
Right.
You couldn't handle a big friggin' stiff ski,
Right.
with a 25-meter turn radius. I think those guys bite off too much sometimes, just thinking about. Plus, at the end of those races, the tele races, you got to skate.
Yes.
So you're also hauling those big, heavy skis through the part of the race that is going to determine whether you win or lose.
Right. Yep.
Everybody gets to the bottom kind of around the same times, but when they hit the Rapalooze and they run that and then they start through the gates, that's where you really, I felt like just it's fascinating to watch. And
Right.
Those guys, that's where they win or lose a race.
Yeah, exactly.
And where penalties are assessed.
Right.
So if you get penalties up on the top of the course,
Yeah.
you're going through gate 3 rather than gate 1.
Exactly. Yes.
But Keith Rodney is the man. I'll tell you, he's dumped a lot of Keith, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's just he can talk forever about it.
I know. He and I usually do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have your ski background and that sort of stuff. So let's talk about the retail part of your Telemark experience.
Yeah. So my brother and I, we started. We got it just kind of this is how we got into the game. We were building in the mid '90s. We started to play around building snowboards.
Right.
And it was 94, 95. One day, my brother we were steaming ash and building cores.
I have to ask you, because you said you had multiple. I have to ask you because you said you had multiple degrees. Would his be like engineering sort of stuff?
No.
No. Oh, okay.
But we both have that kind of.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? So, no. He was. God, was he a poli-sci major or something? He's Phi Beta Kappa, so he's a really bright guy. Good writer and everything.
Right.
So we were building snowboards of all things, and then he had steamed a core that was too narrow.
Right.
And the snowboard base wouldn't fit on to the core. It was just too narrow. So he's like, well, I don't want to waste 8 hours of work here.
Right.
So he put a couple of 3-pins bindings on it facing like a water ski, right?
Yeah.
Brought it up to me. I was working at Killington. He's like, hey, I got something in the car to show you. And I'm like, okay. So I looked down and said, we're going to die on that thing. Are you kidding? I got some leather boots and some ski poles. And I'm like, what is this thing? We're like, I was going to be a snowboard. I was like, it's a teleboard.
Right.
So that's how we got into Telemark.
Okay.
So we started building the teleboard. We got the patent on that. We started making our own, and then we started having them made for us in New York. At that time, there was a small snowboard company down there. So that's how we got into the retail end of things. We started selling Wale bindings, Rotafella bindings, crispy boots at that time. So we were selling packages with these things that we were building called the teleboard, and people got pretty into that. And we went from leather to plastic. The leather was a ball, actually. I'm going to go back to leather this winter, I think.
Right.
And then, we just started selling skis after that too. So we were like, we're selling boards and skis, and we're selling boards and bindings and boots. Let's pick up a ski line. So we called the guys at Carhu at the time, and they were awesome. They were making some amazing tele skis at that time. They were the most innovative.
And that would have been the time they were in Burlington, right?
Yes, but they were making their skis in Canada. So
in Montreal,
Yep, and they also owned at that time, if my memory is correct, Line skis.
Okay.
So they were using the Line ski molds to make these tele skis, like the Jack, the Carhu Jack, which is still, I feel like the Carhu Jack is the ski that changed everything for tele skis.
Really? Yeah.
There's one ski that you can go back to and say that ski changed everything. For me, that is the ski, because people were looking at that Carhu Jack, which is 97 underfoot,
Yep.
and a twin tip. And like
Yeah.
tele skiers were skiing like Tuas at that point.
That's right. Yes.
Skinny, no side cut, like fine, but not great or innovative. And then the Jack came along, and then it was like, okay, there is no ceiling here. We can do anything.
Right.
And it was 97 underfoot, and which is why one of the reasons our Pariah, which is our ski that we make 13 different skis now, but that's why we made that 97 as paying homage to the Carhu Jack, actually.
Cool.
But I got ahead of myself a little bit there, but yeah, so that's how we got into retail. And
cool.
Then we picked up Atomic because they were right here in New Hampshire at that time. Now they're out in Utah.
Right.
They make great stuff. They were making specific Tele AT skis at that point too.
Yep.
And we just haven't looked back and just keep on rolling.
So how many years is this year?
Actually, it's last year. We probably should have made a bigger deal out of it, but it's 25.
Oh wow! Yeah, you should have made a bigger deal, man.
Yeah, I guess whatever. It's not really about us. We're about the sport. So
yeah.
Marty and I are just like, we don't want to be. We just want to spread the love of the sport.
Yeah.
And, So.
Oh no, that's awesome. Yeah, I've talked to a few people who are retailers or who have fleets and put in a lot of their time, their money, and I thank you guys for doing that. And people, and like the guys in the Pretty Good Telemark show say, you got to invest in our sport. Stop being a retro grouch. Like my bellows is worn out. How can I fix it? Yeah, you can go buy a new pair of boots.
Don't fix it. Yeah, stop. Do you have a job?
Yeah.
That's the first question I asked somebody. Do you have a job?
Yes.
Do you love skiing? Okay, invest in this sport.
Yeah.
Because, I'm a cheap bastard too. And
yeah.
I love dumpster. Like I'll look into dumpsters and just be like, hey, is there any good lumber in there?
Exactly.
However, at some point with this sport, and it came close. There were some times, around late, 08 to 12. Things were not good in Tele.
Yes.
Shops were bailing on it. All the shops that were all about Tele pivoted to AT.
Right.
And we didn't. We stuck it out, and we took their business.
Yeah.
And that was their problem, right?
Yeah,
they
exactly.
were short-sighted. I just feel like, they bailed on Tele.
Tele, you have to be in it for the long game.
Yeah, and you have to commit to it too.
Yeah.
You can't dabble in Tele. Nobody.
That's right.
A true Tele skier will go into a shop. They have a couple of Tele bindings on the wall, and like, oh, Timmy, he works on the weekends, he Tele skis, but none of us know what's going on.
Yeah.
Don't even waste our time.
Yeah.
It's nice to have like, a little bit, but be able to talk.
Yeah.
If somebody comes in there, don't be like, oh, well, we don't Tele, we don't know. Don't do it then.
Yeah.
You're wasting.
You need to talk to people like you. You're making Tele skis. You've got this long history of being in the sport. It's we have to help you guys out. And you take up here in Canada, it might be like $800 to $1,000 for a new pair of boots.
Yeah.
And so you ski on I don't know how many days. I know I ski more than 100 days on my boots. And so you break that down, and how much is going to cost you? $5 a day?
Right, exactly.
$250 a day? I still figure out how much my bicycle, because my bicycle was $5,000 23 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's $500 a year.
Come into the shop. I'm like, they're like bike guys. I'm like, you're a bike guy, right? And they're like, yeah. So I'm like, okay, so you want a used pair of skis, and you want a $1,200 setup, like with a new boot or whatever, and a used pair of skis, or do you just want to spend $15 and get it new and have it be good, right? Like for the next 8 years or whatever. Just like when you were spending money on bikes, this is nothing. It's a nothing burger.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Yeah. And
it's
getting
a
new,
lot of money, man. I mean, no doubt.
yeah. And you know what, like my wife, and I'm going to hypothesize that there are many women like this when they maybe take up the sport that their partner and their husband does. She goes, "No, I'm okay. I'm okay." I was like, "No, you deserve better." You know, like I learned a long time ago, I ride a steel bike because it can be repaired, and she rides aluminum, you know, so I try to get her better equipment. She, you know, she's on the same equipment that I ski pretty much, except she's on shiver boots because she's got a foot that's better for crispy, and yeah, and get her all new stuff, and it's much lighter, and you know, she really enjoys it. And so it's for me, it's, you know, I invest in her fun so that it's fun for me to go with her.
100%, man. That's true. I love when a woman or a guy comes in with their significant other and they're kind of leading them into the sport.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's a woman leading her boyfriend or husband into the game, or vice versa. And it's fun to see them, you know, pull them in to the orbit,
right?
And then have them come back and be totally dialed in and into it.
Yes, yeah. I know my wife, when I tried it, I mentioned to her, "You should try it," and she goes, "No, I'm okay." I was like, "Okay." I never said anything, and then. The year she thought she would do it, she had a bad ski crash, so she wasn't able to do it. And so the following year, she took a lesson, not from me, from the woman that ran the ski school that I worked for.
That's smart.
Oh, I never even coached my kids.
Yeah.
Because I ran a big basketball league up here, and they played ball, and I never coached them. That was my thing. I'm not coaching my own children. I will show them the skills, like to throw a baseball, to hit a tennis ball, that sort of stuff, because I have a phys ed degree. I know all the biomechanics behind it.
Right.
But when it comes to family, you know, all the years that Sean has been telemarking, I give her 1 pointer a year. And in the last 2 years, I haven't given her any pointers. I've just told her how eloquently she skis, and I enjoy watching her ski.
That's great. Yeah. That's the thing. My wife's a fair weather skier. I just like going out and skiing with her because it's hilarious. She's awesome. You know.
Yeah.
And it's enjoyable. And my two boys, my oldest son Miles he's one of those 1%er type of skiers that doesn't, like, gravity doesn't apply to him.
Right.
Yeah, when he skis, and you probably ski with people like this, it's like they're skiing on half gravity. Like everything's just too easy. The sport is just too easy.
Yeah.
And you're plodding. I'm a good skier, but I can't. You know, gravity applies to me.
Yes. Gravity applies to me too, right?
Yes, exactly.
Because of that mass.
We're big, you know, hard skiers.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just like touching the snow.
Yeah.
You know, it's really, there are some guys that can ski like that, and I've skied with some of his buddies who are also kind of like, there's a couple, like, you know, these kids are like, oh, he's a pro and whatever, he lives in Utah and he's sleeping on couches, of course.
Yeah.
So I appreciate my son not going that route. He could have.
Yeah.
But you know, he's got a real job and like healthcare and stuff, which is great. But he was one of those talents that, you know, could have been, you know.
Yeah, I know. I taught my friend's son how to telemark ski at a festival, and he was in with this group, a beginner's group, and everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, you're such a great telemark skier. How long have you been telemarking?" And he goes, "What time is it?"
Yeah, it's right. It's like, so for some guys, it's just so easy. It's awesome to ski with people like that, though. It's just fun to be in their orbit.
Yeah.
There's just they're really good skiers, and then there are those guys that just are at another level.
That's right.
Somehow, and they're just natural. It's like any sport, right? Basketball,
yes. Yeah,
or whatever. You
yeah,
know, just different type of athlete.
And when you're talking about that, I think those are the type of terms that I strive for. That when I get to the bottom of the hill, I was like, whoa. Because I remember talking to a couple of when I was interviewing a couple of people, I was talking about the fluidity of Telemark. And last year and this year, maybe it was the skis I've been on. I feel much like a salmon swimming upriver, just no effort required. Just carving my turns, thinking about something else, and I would get to the bottom and go, wow, that was so good.
Yeah.
But those are far and few
between.
between.
Right ski, it's just awesome when you match up with a ski and a binding. The thing about Tele too is like an alpine binding. Who cares what you're on, right?
Right.
Does it matter? Like, I mean, maybe it does to like a park skier or something, but if they release when they should and keep you in when they should, that's. But for Tele, the binding is like, man, it's. I think it goes boot binding ski being least important of the three components. I mean, people might argue that, but I mean, binding could be number one.
Yeah, well, that's the interface, right?
Right. Yeah. The binding might be more important than the boot.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the boot is to the consumer the most important thing.
Right.
But the binding's so important, and there are so many cool bindings out there right now. I had a guy come in, he's building bindings in his garage.
Right.
And he came in with some stuff. I'm like, this looks like I'd ski this right now.
Right.
This looks amazing the way it is.
Yeah.
Just really creative. And that's the way, well, the guys at 22 inherited 22 at that point. They had the hammerhead that Ricky had already designed. But those guys have taken it to another level too. Chris and Colin. Thank God those guys are so committed to it. But
well, I'm committed to them because at one point in the ski binding, Telemark binding industry, there were only like two real players, and 22 Designs, they threw the money into R&D.
They did. Yeah.
Like the guys who started NTN. I don't know, are they just sitting back there collecting royalties off of these people who they licensed them to?
I mean, we're the distributor for Rotafella in the U.S. and Canada. So, I do like the Rotafella bindings, and I still feel like the free ride in some ways is, between the plate just being an amazing piece of engineering.
Yes.
That slides on there. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Also, if you're going to go, say, you're going out skiing for 2 years in Alaska with no support, the free ride is the binding you probably want to be skiing on, because the chances are that nothing is going to happen to that binding. That binding and cockroaches are the only thing that are going to survive.
Right. Yeah.
That's it. That binding is thoroughly friggin' bomb-proof. I'm not saying they don't break occasionally, but it's pretty rare. And
the only thing I've ever heard of breaking is the tow bail every once in a while, and I think that's overuse and not skiing or flexing the boot properly.
So they did have on the far outer reaches of those tow bails, the tabs would crack. Yeah. Mainly happened with Scarpa boots. The Scarpa bellow was soft, and it would max out, and this was earlier Scarpa. I'm not sure it's true anymore with the new Scarpa, but the older one. So they'd end up you'd max out the bellow, and then it'd just be you against the binding.
Right.
And, eventually, those little tabs would crack. You could still ski the binding.
Yeah.
And that tow bail is replaceable. We sell those, so if anybody
that's good to know. That's because
up there needs binding parts for Rotafellas, whether it's the Freedom or the Freeride, we got them.
That's good to know, because up here in Canada, it's kind of like a Telemark gear desert. We've got Valhalla Pure Outfitters out in Squamish, and then we have Ski Michel, and where the hang is that? It's east of Quebec City. There's not many places in between.
We sell Valhalla. We sell gear to Valhalla.
Oh, okay, cool.
Crispy boots, and also bindings. Also the rod, because we import Crispy for U.S. and Canada, and Rotafella for U.S. and Canada.
Right.
And so also Jeanron Sports.
That's right.
And so they also buy Crispy boots and Rotafella. And there's a guy that sort of does a Mario. I don't know if you know Mario.
Yes, in Bromont.
Yeah. So
Yeah, Mario Filio.
Yeah.
And
Nice
he's
guy.
retiring, unfortunately, from what I understand.
Oh, is he really? That's
Yeah,
unfortunate.
yeah.
I know we sell him bindings when he calls in time to get them.
Right.
He'll like call us late in the season. We're like, all right, we're out of bindings, man. You got to call us in November to order, not in
Right.
February.
Yes.
So yeah, there's a few places in Canada, but you're right. It's not easy, and of course the shipping over to Canada is, things haven't been any easier the last couple of years. But that's a whole other topic.
Yep.
And I will tell you that the extra tax we had this year was pretty painful.
Yeah.
The tariffs were brutal.
Yeah.
Because we import from Italy, and we bring a lot of Majos into the country, and also we import the 7TMs into the U.S.
Yep.
Canada. So man, it was just crushing us.
Right.
And now I got to go back and try to get all that money back.
Yeah.
Which is just time and also money to try to get your money back that was taken from you illegally.
Right. Yeah.
But so first of all, I want to say sorry from the U.S.
Oh, that's okay, man.
You guys.
You know what? We really do love you guys. You know, I when I ski, lots of times I have my Telemark Ski Canada jacket on, and you wouldn't believe the number of American skiers come up and apologize. I was like, that's cool, man. We don't judge a people. Just don't look at my Facebook page, because when somebody challenges my sovereignty and my family, my forefather here came here 15 generations.
Man. Hey, you know what state I want is BC or Alberta. That's a good state to have. I love skiing up there, man. That is just the best.
I've never skied out there, because as it being an educator, like airfare and stuff would suddenly rise when it was time for me to go. So thankfully I've got a cottage just on the other side of Vermont border. And so
where do you have a cottage?
Do you know where Sherbrooke is?
Yeah.
Nice. So our ski hill, local ski hill where we have our pass, is Owl's Head.
Oh, damn. We have property right on the lake across the right.
Really? You're on Lake Memphremagog?
Yeah.
No way.
Like literally, I look out. I could drive a snowmobile across the lake to Owl's Head, and I've never skied there. It's actually my wife's family's property, also Canadian. My wife's dad was Canadian.
Yeah. Oh shit!
So,
well, you need to come up there and visit us, and then go ski with us, man.
Oh yeah, I definitely want to go to Owl's Head.
But I do know what it's like. I was a huge cyclist before I was a telemark skier. And I have often dreamt about, having a cycling business. I was somewhere in the U.S. and I was like, wow, I really like this setup. You have a bike shop. You have good, welcoming mechanics working for you. But then in your shop, you also have these stations with all these tools, so that riders like myself, however, I now have all the tools, can go in and book a workstation for an hour. And if you have a problem, there's a mechanic that you can talk to that'll help you solve, like this past week, I got a bike for my wife. It's a hybrid type bike. So I made it into a gravel bike for her. We need to change the pedals. I could not get the pedals off. So we were out cycling somewhere, and there was a good old bike shop. So I went in there. There's some young guys. And I said, there's got to be some trick. I cannot get these pedals off. I've used big Allen keys. I've used my pedal wrench. Anyways, they had to use their industrial size pedal wrench. And I've never heard this term before. The guy goes, oh, it might be a Chinesium problem.
Was it just like a metal issue?
I think the previous owner, who was a former student of mine, didn't put grease on the pedal spindle before he put it into the crank arm.
It just locked up.
Yeah, and man, no matter what I could do, I was putting all my weight on it. I was slapping it with a little mallet, but yeah, they had this nice big pedal wrench, and I was like, oh man, I need to get myself one of those. Yeah. So then he made fun of me because I need a whole new drivetrain on my bike, and my wife says, well, you could just bring it in. I was like, why do all my friends bring their bicycles for me to work on? I'll do all the work. And the guy goes, yeah, and you asked me to take pedals off your wife's bike? Yeah. So, but you know what? I want to get back to the Rockefeller. Like that plate, that is such a slick.
Mm.
You know, you got one binding or two bindings, and you might have 5 or 6 pairs of skis.
Yeah.
That's because that's what I liked about the Bomber Bishop. I had the second plate or the second ski plate on a couple of different pairs of skis, and it wasn't as easy as the Rockefeller system.
Right.
Yeah, but that's what I loved about that binding system.
Yeah, that it's really nice, and especially when you're bindings. You know, bindings aren't cheap.
No.
You know, I mean, the new bishops are $800.
Yeah.
You know, they're $700-800.
Yeah.
So to be able to move it from ski to ski is huge. That's a game changer. Then it's like, oh, okay, now I can get a pariah and I can just throw a plate on it and boom, I'm good to go. Like just ski and plate. Plates are $100 or whatever.
Yeah.
And those rowdy they used to be pink, now they're black. But,
okay.
They're awesome.
Yeah.
You know,
and then you know what? Like when they first came out with them, and my buddy, he's a freestyle coach, he's all on Telemark, and we're looking at this, thinking, is this gonna hold when you're like doing all your freestyle stuff?
Yeah.
You know, but hey, man, it's bomb proof.
I've never seen one of those break ever.
Really?
I mean, we see them all, right?
I guess that's made out of Norwegium.
Yeah, it's good, man. It's just a great design. The original first 2 years they made that binding, it was a metal plate.
Okay.
And then they swapped it over to that pink plate.
Right.
And people were like, "Oh man, they just cheapified this binding," but it actually made it better because that pink plate would also flex with the ski.
Yes.
Better. And so that was a genius. Whoever did that, it was too bad they couldn't do that also with the Freedom binding.
Yeah.
The Freedom binding we still sell too. I really like the way that binding flexes for women specifically.
Oh, that's good to know.
There's some guys out there that like it. It's a neutral binding. It's actually for me, that was the first binding I had success on with the NTN system.
Right.
I came over, I was skiing hammerheads and got onto a pair of free rides, and I'm like, oh man, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I was laughing at myself. I couldn't figure out how to pressure or flex or whatever. But then I got out, got a couple of tips from a guy that had been skiing and went out on the Freedom, and I can specifically remember the place, the turn. I figured it out. And felt
the aha moment.
Yeah, it was that like, oh my goodness. Okay, yes, NTN is significantly better. I still ski leather. I still ski 3 pins. But as far as performance, there's no debating that.
Right.
Whether you like it more or not, that's like guys will come in with a pair of, T2s that are 15 years old, and I'll be like, man, it's time. Like these boots owe you nothing, and you should make the flip over now. It's time to do it. But if they have a newer boot, like they have a Crispy XR and it's 2 years old, I'm like, it's a great boot, man. I just you can ride it out with this boot and stick in 75 mil and ski an axle or the axle or the Bishop, and just stay with your 75 mil. There's there's no right or wrong. Everybody's a little different.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and you know what? That's what everybody says about Telemark.
Yeah, and it's like you don't notice the performance difference in softer snow, like in POW, like in XR with an axle, you're gonna have just as good a time on those and you would on a free ride with a crispy shiver,
right?
Whatever. So, but on the firm snow, yes, there is performance difference. It's undebatable.
Right. This is great talking to you because I'm actually learning a bunch of stuff. When you talked about these guys and women who are engineers who come into your shop, I was like, a long time ago, I said, yeah, Telemark ski, or you're either a gearhead or a pothead.
Yeah, that's
or you could be a combination of both.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
There's definitely some crossover there.
But, no, this is all great great information. I hope the listeners, they have the same appreciation for your knowledge.
Yeah, it's just accumulated. It's just I don't do many things well, to be honest with you. I'm a pretty good house painter in the summer.
Well, you do have a demo tour that you do.
We do, yeah, and so we've always done that. It's time consuming.
Yes.
It takes me away from home, especially when my kids were little. I'd be on the road for sometimes we go away for 30 days.
Yeah.
We do a tour out in Colorado or something, especially back when we were doing teleboard stuff too.
Right.
But now we do all the festivals in the Northeast.
That's right.
And do the Bromley Fest. We do the Mount Abram Festival. Go over to Berkshire East and into Vermont. We try to into New York to. We'd go down into PA to just to connect with people.
Yeah.
And that's awesome. I just like connecting with people out there who teleski, or maybe they're a first timer or they've just been doing it forever. But,
right.
And they're just great people.
Yeah.
In this. We have got the guys from Northeast Telemark out in New York, Jason Black, and
yeah.
Dean McGeorge out there, and Sean Henry down in Bel Air
I think he's friends with Helen Burkhardt, who I interviewed.
Yeah. So she came up and bought some gear off of us, and she's totally into it now. She's full throttle.
She's really promoting women, getting women together to telemark and that sort of stuff.
100%. Yeah, we're all in favor of that for sure. And I think, there's some the best instructors I know, and you probably, obviously, or some of them are women for sure.
Yes.
And they just, I like to just shadow lessons when we're doing a fest or something. Sometimes I just like to kind of ski in and just in the back and just listen to the different ways that people teach. But I don't know, man. I kind of partial to the way women teach.
Yeah.
just like Karen Dallery.
Okay.
From Killington. Do you know Karen?
No, I don't.
Yeah, Karen is she's phenomenal. There's a woman in town, ironically lives down the street from our shop. Your name's Kate. She's actually from the Czech Republic.
Oh, Kate Colburn. I interviewed her for my Women in Telemark skiing series because she was in that Telemark movie that Deanna Rivera put together.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
She skis on our tele team on Thursday nights. Her husband is a skier too. He also skis on our team.
Yeah.
And
I haven't forgot about Pat. We had a hard time scheduling a get together to get him on the show too. So I'm gonna hit him up again.
Oh yeah.
In the near future.
Pat's awesome. Yeah. But Kate is. I send her a lot of lessons because I have people come into the shop, but men or women. I'm like, you got to learn from her.
Yes.
She has a way of teaching you. You won't know you're learning.
Well, you know what? Women, they have a disadvantage and an advantage. Like, to me, I get the gear to work. Like, I had a conversation with a young woman on a podcast, and I can break in a pair of boots in 2 turns.
Right.
You know? Because I remember putting on the first pair of my comps, and I was like, oh, right, they're stiff. And next turn, they're broken in pretty much. You know, I just unload on them.
Guys, we're different. Like, we
have mass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where women have to, getting into stuff, they have to massage. It takes them a long time to break equipment in, and they have to learn all the different nuances. Maybe there'll be a future guest, a woman who will help debate this with me, and I'll get Tabby Friedman on here because I have a hard time scheduling with her.
Tabby's awesome.
Oh, I know, she's fantastic. I love her. But I remember the first time she put out on Facebook that there was a clinic for the USTSA and anybody was welcome. And I was like, hey, can I come from Canada? And she goes, yeah, sure. And then, so it's like she says, where are you going to stay? I was like, I don't know. She goes, you can stay with me. So I said, okay, I'll bring some food. Do you like lobster mac and cheese? And she's like, yeah. And I said, okay, cool. So my girls, you know, you're a father of 2 girls and preteens, and it's like stranger danger, right? And they're asking my wife, where's Dad going? Who's he staying with? And my wife says, no. You know what? Your dad's a Telemark skier. They're different. You'll be okay. Don't worry about it. Yeah. And then Steve, I don't know how to say Steve's last name. Renglis? He skis out of Waterville Valley.
Oh yeah, Steve. Yeah, Steve.
Yeah, so he brought fresh oysters, and so, you know, what a fantastic meal we had that first night, man. Lobster, mac and cheese, and oysters on the half shell, and staying at Tabby's place. It was awesome.
Yeah. Did you get all her dogs or her dog?
Oh, yeah. I got all her dogs there. I was sleeping. Oh, I did have a bedroom. I didn't have to sleep on the couch, so I did have a bedroom.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But no, that was, you know, like you said, when you tour around and you meet the people and how nice they're.
They'll put you up.
I don't think there's been a bad experience I've had, and I've slept on lots of couches of strangers and that sort of stuff related to telemark skiing. It's all been positive.
Oh, yeah, I almost look for that. Like when we go, you know, when we do our demo tour and we travel around, I don't want to stay in a motel or a hotel. I've done that, you know.
Yep.
It always, I want to I want to sleep on somebody's couch,
or
floor, or I want to have an experience, a skier experience.
Yeah.
Like ski bum experience. I don't want to stay in the Best Western.
Yeah.
I don't. It's like, I can put it on the business card. Yeah, no problem. My brother be like, oh, you stayed in a hotel? What the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I'd rather, and now we know everybody in every town now. So I got places to stay, which is awesome.
Yeah.
We up in Maine, we stay with Jim Tassie. You know, probably Jim, right?
No, well, no, I don't think so.
He's out of Mount Abram.
Okay. And I remember being at Mount Abram because I don't know if you know of Christine Keeney. She was in Maine, around in Bethel for a while, and now she's in Mad River in Waitsfield. And I remember shortly after, I think it was on Instagram, she had posted how she came first or second in the women's division. I was like, holy shit, I was the jump judge. And so she and I have been friends since, I don't know how, we figure it's more than 10 years through social media. And we finally got to meet each other this past year, just before Christmas. Or it was just after Christmas or around Christmas. And she came up to ski Owl's Head and Sutton and that sort of stuff. And so it's like, and I owed her a beer, because what I tend to do sometimes is I put my Skippy Report sticker somewhere in the middle of nowhere. And it's like, if you find this, when I'm back in town, I'll buy you a beer. So she was sick when I went to buy her a beer. So when she came up, I kind of bought her supper, sort of, her and her partner.
Nice.
Yeah. So it was.
Is Owl's Head on the Indy Pass?
It is.
Yeah, so I have the Indy Pass. I'm coming. We're skiing.
Okay, well, we'll get dates organized, and this will be awesome.
I was I got the Indy Pass for the first time this year, and we I know it was not, we felt it. I mean, financially, there was not a great snow year out west.
Right.
We sell a fair amount of gear out west. I mean, the snow in the east was good, so it kind of made up, for sales and stuff. But it's always nice when everybody's getting some love. But
you know what, my wife and I love the Indy Pass, and I was like, we have grandchildren that live in an area, they ski, they're 5 and 3, they've been skiing for 2 years.
Nice.
But there's no ski hills around them, so we were like, you can only have so many ski passes.
Yeah.
And when you're retired and on a fixed income, it's like, okay, so we're not going to give up Owl's Head. Okay, so we'll give up the Indy Pass. We absolutely love the Indy Pass because that's our road trip. We do, like, my wife and I did a circle ski tour of Lake Superior 2 years ago, and we skied every resort around Lake Superior. It was fantastic, and then down into the lower part of Michigan also. And it was fantastic. And like, people don't know about the Indy Pass, but like now people do, and it gets sold out. And I was like, shit, we let ours go. I hope we get it back in a couple of years because
it sells out in like 10 minutes.
I know.
So
because we have a hill 20 minutes from where we live, and so we decided we would get our pass back there again, like when we did with our children, and we're going to take our grandchildren out of school a week or more every month, because when you're in kindergarten and junior kindergarten, and being a former educator, how much education are you going to miss?
You're going to learn a lot more on the ski hill.
Exactly. Yeah. So I remember sending a student, her parents were like, "You're not sending any homework with her?" I was like, "No, you guys are going skiing in France. She's going to learn way more of culture and history and stuff." I said, "Just make sure you ski. That's the phys ed homework."
That is.
Yeah.
I used to, my oldest son, Miles, I used to send him to school when he was like 5 or 6 years old in his bibs.
Yep.
And you go in, check in, go, "Oh, he's here. Okay, mark him." And then half hour later, I'd show up and go, "Come on, son, we're going skiing." "I'm going with my dad." She's like, "Yeah, I can see this coming." Like he shows up with ski bibs and stuff, and like, sorry, his dad's a ski bum.
Yeah. So that's how we're going to spend our winter, because we want to get the grandchildren to a level where they can come to Owl's Head. They need to be a little older because it's a little bit of schlepping gear in the wintertime, because our cottage is down towards the lake and we have a very steep driveway, so we have to park up top and haul all the gear up. Now, we do have a locker at the hill, so we don't have to haul our ski gear. But, like our lunch and our ski bag that's got our clothes and that sort of stuff. But it's like, we need to get them to a level where they can ski, because Owl's Head has got terrain for everybody. It's crazy. I think it's about $60 Canadian. So if you don't have the Indy Pass, that's what, $10 US maybe? Just kidding.
Yeah, when it's $60 Canadian, so it's like 75% of that, right?
Yeah, so it's like $40.
Yeah, that's
so they have a family zone that also, so it's got a little magic carpet area. It's got a small chair that's maybe a couple of 100 yards long, but the family area encompasses the whole lower part of the mountain, and over to what you see from your side of the lake there's two chairs over there, but you can access a high-speed quad and have a nice long run. And this is all on the family zone, which is $40 Canadian, which is probably $30 US.
Yeah.
So you don't have to go way up. There's only one chair that services the top of the mountain and all the other runs that are up there. But and
definitely coming this year. We'll chat.
Yeah. That's exciting.
My son's got the Indy too, so I'll bring him along.
Now your cottage, is it winterized?
So we have property there. We put a dock, and we have not put a house on there yet.
Okay.
So
well, we got lots of room. You can come camp with us, man.
Oh yeah.
And you don't have to stay on the couch. You don't have to stay on the couch.
That. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's I'll let you know on that. That's great. But yeah, I'm excited to go up there. This year I was going to say we took the Indy Pass and went out to Washington.
Oh yes.
And, we skied at Mount Hood. We skied at Hood Meadows.
Yeah. And
that was a ball. Even though the snow wasn't stellar, we found a lot of good stuff there. This was beginning of April.
Right.
A lot of north-facing tree stuff that was awesome. That was a ball. Stayed at that huge hotel. What's it called then? Where they're filming The Shining.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I don't know, but
yeah. Anyway, and then we went up to a place in Washington called White Pass.
Okay.
I've never heard of White Pass before.
Yeah.
But I will tell you that place is worth going to. Like, it's on the Indy Pass, and it's kind of out in the middle of nowhere. It's pretty close to Rainier.
Yeah.
But we had a friggin' ball there. It was awesome. Yeah, it was like just a great place. I guess the Fey Brothers used to own it.
Yeah.
Back in the 70s, and but yeah, I think they're adding to the place too. But yeah, the terrain was awesome, and just a great vibe there. The lodge was pretty sweet too.
I got to get on the Indy Pass. They need to sponsor this show, because you wouldn't believe how much I talk about the Indy Pass, and then people like you who have the Indy Pass. It's we take a look at what's down in the U.S. in New England, and there's all these little loops that we could do. You know, it's like we could. I said I'd have to go ski Cochrane on a Friday night for $5, and then we go down to Rutland. We skied Pico. Want to go over to Saskadina 6 because that's on the pass, and then what the hell is the
Magic Mountain's on the pass?
That's right. Yes, and
Magic is sweet.
Is it? Yeah.
Oh, Magic is awesome. Yeah, it's probably one of the best. It's just like when the snow is good there, that place is just so much fun.
And what's the the Ivy League school there in New Hampshire?
So Dartmouth, the skiways.
Yeah. You know, like you make these little circles, and you can go over to Maine, and you know you got New Hampshire, and it's like, that's on our when we get our Indy Pass back. That's what we're doing. We're making all these little ski.
But also, you know, I mean, some pretty big Lake J's on it.
Yes, I know. Yeah.
Waterville's on it.
Yeah.
Even in the Crown Jewel, I mean, Jay might be the Crown Jewel there, but Saddleback in Maine is on it.
Yes.
And Saddleback, if they told me, hey, Fey, you're going to die in 2 days, but you get to ski one more day in the Northeast, it's Saddleback. That's where I'm going.
Really?
And, it's phenomenal. It's got everything. Like it's got the ski bar, just a classic ski bar, and just the terrain.
Oh, I have to hit because I think that's just over. Like that's why I love the cottage. I haven't ventured south like to Killington because it's 3 hours, but I'll do 2 hours. You know, so I'm in the Sunday River, Mount Abrams, Sugarloaf. The next one was going to be Saddleback. You know,
you catch Saddleback on a a good day, like all snow conditions being equal.
Yeah,
Saddleback is just awesome.
Okay.
The son and I and my wife and his girlfriend went there in March and caught a storm there, and it was just like, man, it's just the best skiing of the year.
Right.
The place is always fun.
Wow. Oh, good to know, man. And you know what? Like, you're getting a little long in the tooth here, and we haven't really we did delve into a little bit of the skiing and that, and building skis and that sort of stuff, but we'll have to save that for another time.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I know we talk too much.
Nah, but it's all good stuff, man. You imparted a whole lot of knowledge, and I hope that the listeners appreciate it, and I appreciate all the hard work and the time commitment and the financial commitment and everything that you do to keep Telly relevant.
Yeah, you know, it's we love it, so that's why we do it. You know, we gave up our other gigs for it, and I don't regret it at all.
So tell the listeners where they can find you, how they can find you. I know where you are, but I wasn't was I a Telly skier then? I don't think I was a Telly skier when I was telling you that story on the phone call, riding the tandem with my cousin's husband when we rolled into New Boston, and it's like, we're lost. Talk to the fire hall.
Yeah, New Boston is it is sort of in the sticks a little bit. I don't feel like it is, but people come out here and go, oh my God, you're way out here. My brother's in a similar situation in Connecticut.
Okay.
He's also northeast corner of Connecticut, and there's not much out there. And his driveway to get into his shop is like, it's probably close to a half mile long.
Wow.
And it's dirt. So people are like, they're hearing banjos and they're skipping. But so our ski line is Summit Cone.
Yep.
That's Telly specific. We make 9 specific Telly skis. We do make some fish scale skis. We do now make 3 AT skis.
Okay.
Out of the same molds, but with different cores and different flex pattern. And then, of course, Telemarkdown is our website. So you can get all the gear, the crispy boots, all the gear on Telemarkdown.
Right. Perfect. Well, thanks so much for doing this. And I really appreciate you taking the time to share the love, man.
Yeah, no problem. I appreciate you having me on, and yeah, we'll do it again. We'll talk a little more specifically.
Well, you know what?
We just went off in all sorts of different
That's
directions.
that's the way it's got to be. All this equipment, except for the speakers, packs up in a big Pelican box. So if we get together at the cottage, I'll bring it all down. We can pull it all out and sit at the kitchen table and talk ski building.
Sounds good, man. I appreciate it.
All right.
All right.
Thanks so much.
All right. Talk to you later.
Well, there you have it, crew. Another episode of the Skipper Report. Gigantic thank you to Erik Fey for sitting down, speaking with me, sharing his backstory, getting into telemark skiing, getting dragged around New England with his uncle, exposing him to skiing in the woods in New England, and his telemark stories, and getting into retail, building the telemark board, and now skis. So huge thank you to Erik. Remember, we need to invest in our sport and share the love. Hit Erik up for your telemark needs at telemarkdown.com. Anyways, thanks for sitting down and listening to me this season. This is the last episode for the season. I am going to return later September. Got things all organized, ready to go. So have a wonderful summer, and look forward to sharing interviews with you in the fall. Peace out.